So this is a fellow libertarian who wants me to explain Chase Oliver's policies and why there's so much mud being flinged at him. This includes from other libertarians. Though personally I would argue that those libertarians are actually more likely to be Republicans who jumped ship for the last several elections because they were never Trumpers as well. But before I get started, Chase Oliver is already on TikTok. I'm going to link his account down below. Now, one of the big pieces of criticism that for some reason he's getting from the Libertarian Party is that he's gay. And as such, he's heavily involved with the LGBT community, which it's like, yeah, he's gay. This is why I'm starting to consider that a lot of the libertarians criticizing him are just closet Republicans who jumped ship when Trump ran for president. But historically speaking, the Libertarian Party and the libertarian community overall has always been in favor of rights for the LGBT community. In fact, they completely endorse getting the government out of everybody's bedroom because what goes on between two or more consenting adults is neither the general public nor the government's business. When police were going down and shutting down gay bars, the Libertarian Party stood against it. When the government was enforcing anti-sodomy laws, the Libertarian Party stood against it. And of course, the Libertarian Party was the first party in U.S. history to openly endorse marriage equality. So I don't see why anybody has a problem with him being gay, and if you do, why do you call yourself a libertarian? Now, another criticism that people are giving Chase Oliver that makes a little bit more sense is that they think he wants to transition kids. That's not an accurate statement at all. Now, Chase Oliver actually came to Baton Rouge back in December, and I asked him if he would repeal Title 4D of the U.S. Social Security Act. Title 4D is why our child support system is so broken and so biased against fathers, or anyone who happens to be the main provider in a relationship. Under Title 4D of the U.S. Social Security Act, states are giving incentives to maximize the number of non-custodial parents for profit. For every dollar a non-custodial parent pays into their state's child support system, the federal government gives those states reimbursements. The exact nature of the reimbursement, if I'm correct, varies state per state, but you get the picture. Now, if you want to see just how far this policy can be taken and has been taken, look no further than what Spike Cohen's been doing fighting the state of Georgia. Like seriously, states can essentially accuse innocent parents of abuse and then force them to pay child support while keeping their kids away from them. It's disgusting. But anyway, I digress. Back on subject. While Chase Oliver did not completely endorse repealing Title 4D, he did say he is firmly in the favor of parental rights. He made it very specific. He wants parents to have more control over their child's education. And in cases where a child might want to transition, he wants that decision to be left up to the parents and not the government. Personally, I disagree with him on this, because I was raised during the height of the pharmaceutical parenting craze, and I was force-fed Adderall and lithium for a substantial amount of my childhood. So when it comes to giving parents complete autonomy over their child's medical choices, I'm against it. But all that being said, his position is explicitly libertarian, by nature. So even though I don't agree with him, I can empathize with his logic. Another argument I keep hearing is that he was in favor of the COVID lockdowns, which I cannot find any evidence to support it whatsoever. I do know there are photos of him wearing a mask and going along with the COVID lockdowns, but not an explicit endorsement thereof. At the same time, I think libertarians can obey a law even if they disagree with it simply because they don't want to go to jail. Like seriously, if libertarians could get away with not paying their taxes or not filing their taxes every April, I'm pretty sure the entire party wouldn't be doing it. And as a result, nobody would ever be able to run for office as a libertarian. Now, I did find evidence that he was okay with private companies enforcing mask policies or lockdown policies, in which case it would be a private company or business making those decisions, not the government, so where's the confliction with libertarianism? But another one of the big criticisms he's getting from other libertarians is the fact that he has publicly stated he doesn't like Ron Paul. And at the same time, whenever I cite Ron Paul to a lot of people, one of the first things they do is criticize him for apparently saying homophobic stuff in the past. I've never really dug into it, but if this is the kind of sentiment that a lot of gay and LGBT individuals have against Ron Paul, it doesn't surprise me that a gay libertarian might also have an issue with him for that reason. And while Ron Paul is certainly responsible for the majority of libertarians that exist today, especially in the US, he's not libertarian Jesus. Hi. I wasn't even trying to make that reference. I don't think it's set in stone that you actually have to be a fan of Ron Paul to be a libertarian. Now, those are the biggest things I'm hearing about Chase Oliver from other libertarians that they don't like. But other than that, he's in favor of free markets and capitalism. He is probably the most pro-gun individual in the presidential race right now. On a more personal level, I appreciate the fact that he's pro-nuclear energy. He has a plan to replace Social Security without hurting those who are currently relying on the system as it is. He wants to end the war on drugs and victimless crime as a whole. He's not a crooked prosecutor or an aging, bloated billionaire egomaniac. When you actually take the time to look at this guy's policies, he is indeed a libertarian. He's not a leftist, nor is he a Republican. And the mudslinging coming from other libertarians are really coming from Republicans who are only identifying as libertarians because they want to distance themselves from the current GOP fiascos going on right now. And even though he has debated Jill Stein twice and won by popular vote after debate, he's still significantly less popular online than Jill Stein, and I don't know why that is. But either way, Republicans are red, Democrats are blue, neither major party cares about me or you. So be bold, vote gold. And go Tigers! Football season starts in 2 weeks, or less. I need to check my calendar.